Hey everybody, Andy from the Bonnevilles here. Just wanted to take this opportunity to have a wee word. Uh, just heading down to Belfast to pick up Chris. We're heading to Germany now to pick up our gear after the last tour, that debacle, and play in Morlaix, France. So we have a bit of 2 days of 12-hour drives ahead of us, but it's all good, it's all fine. As long as we get our gear back and get to play the festival, that's the main thing. So looking forward to that. Just wanted to have a wee word. I meant to do this video during the week because it was just a thought I had. I was sent an interview and it got me thinking about some previous interviews I've done, and there's always a little question that comes up, because I'm an old fucker now, and people ask, have you got any advice for young people and things like that, and I always used to say, yeah, buy a van, half jokingly, and I was only half joking, I'm serious, and then sometimes they'd come back and they'd say, well, do you not have advice like rehearsal or songwriting or anything like that? And my stock answer was always the same, well, I assume that you're obsessed and that you're doing all the rehearsing and you're just laser focused on your songwriting and things like that. So there's nothing, if you're not doing that, then don't buy a van because you're wasting your fucking time. But it got me thinking. I did a little piece on my podcast during the week about AI, and I've been doing a bit more research even since then. I think I'll be continuing to do that, and about how it's replacing the creative industries. And then so that sort of was percolating in my head. I was just thinking about that for a while, and then I was at a wedding last week, and there was a wedding band playing. They were very good, not my thing, but they were very, very good, very, very slick, very tight, really knew their game. And they brought us, and they give their employer everything that they asked for and more. They were fantastic. But it got me thinking about AI again when I was watching them, and then it got me thinking about my comment about, have you advice for young people? Yeah, go and buy a van, and you can see where I'm going with this. AI can't do that. AI can't do that. It can't jump in a van, grab an amp, and express itself. All it can do is copy, and we all copy. We all, no one just writes the best song they've ever written. If they think they wrote it in a bubble, they're stupid. I mean, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants, but AI is the biggest plagiarism machine ever invented. And that's all it is plagiarism. And so long as we continue to feed the AI, it will continue to steal it. And it seems that our dear leaders all over the world, including in our unions and including in our governments, don't really seem to care very much that we're getting ripped off something rotten. If you go onto Spotify, put on a random playlist, it's going to be full of AI. And for that reason, I would recommend you go to Qobuz, a company Qobuz. Same idea, streaming service, plays all the music you want. Very high quality, high resolution, so it's good for that if you're into that. And it has banned AI off the platform, so there's no AI. It's all human-made music, and this is where we're headed. You're going to start seeing albums with no AI was involved in this. Stickers on the sleeves and things like that. You're going to start seeing videos of people recording straight to tape without any editing. These things are going to come back, and so is the garage band. The 3 boys and girls just making a racket in a space, and I think it's a good thing. And I would encourage you to be those people. If you're a parent and you're thinking about what you can do for your child, give them a space and leave them alone. Just put them in it. pay their rent if it's one of those, if it's a part of your home, just let them be. And let them make their noise. This is where rock and roll comes from. And those of us that are fortunate enough to be able to make money in this industry, that have gone down the business route, that have gone down the record label route, they're fucked now. Tours are being cancelled all over the place. Cost of living crisis, as we know, is affecting everybody and everything. And if you're faced with not being able to put fuel in your vehicle, or buying a $100 concert ticket, or $200, or ridiculous amount, $400, $500, $600, and even more than that for the huge artists, then, well, you're not going to do that. You're just not going to do it. And consequently, these tours are being cancelled. That's the way the industry is going. Yeah, so down the live route, if you're going down the big path, the big band path, your tours are being cancelled. If you're a band that's going down the indie route, your music is being ripped off on the streaming services. You're being copied directly, even if you take your music off the streaming services, as King Lizard and the Gizzard Wizard did, and a few others, and then they're now finding AI copies of themselves popping up on the streaming services. So you're fucked no matter what you do, unless you get a van, get a space, make a noise, and go on the road. And you might develop a nice independent career for yourself, as Chris and I have. Or the bigger bands and us, like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, you might be fortunate enough like them to be a bigger band, or Amel and the Sniffers, you know, all these indie bands, and they're out there and they're touring and they're gigging. The Mary Wallopers out there gigging and touring. You know, so many. And AI will rip them off anyway, but they can still jump in a van and play a gig. AI can't do that. Stay independent. That's my advice. Get a van, get a space, make a racket, stay independent. I don't know what the next 5 or 10 years is going to bring. I never saw this coming, never saw this shit coming. It's mental what AI can do. So we, as musicians, just need to not be in that space, because it can't do this. It can't do this. It can't drive to Belfast to pick up your bandmate to go and get a van to drive to Germany. It can't do it. So that's what we must do. Does that make sense? I think it does. If I get any more thoughts on this, I will share them with you. Take care, everybody.